Fleming welcoming you to the Grand Prix of Endurance. This is the 12 Hours of Sebring. And during the next 12 hours, we're going to have a lot of questions answered that are in the minds of racing fans everywhere. Can the Chaparrals repeat the victory that they won here a year ago? Can the Fords win 2 in a row, such as they did with the Continental, the long road race, this being the second one on the road to Le Mans? And number 3, can Ferrari come back after a rather dismal start at the beginning of this year? Working with us is former World's Driving Champion Phil Hill. Let's get a quick word with him right now. Phil?
Thanks, Bill. Well, here we are at Sebring again for the second round of the Constructors' Championship in the automobile racing scene. It's about the first one that we've had that all the teams are really fully here. Ford is here with 11 cars. Ferrari's here with 1 new, very, very strong car. Chaparral is here with 2 cars this time. Jim Hall and Hap Sharp will be driving one, and Joachim Bonnier and myself will be driving the other. Well, we're getting underway pretty shortly.
Okay, thanks very much, Phil. Here are some of the other drivers who'll be battling it out. Jackie Stewart, who'll be in car number 24 with Graham Hill, who's strapped in the cockpit right now. The Bandini Scarfiotti team and the Ferrari Dino number 46. Mike Parks and Bob Bondurant in the Ferrari 27. That's the P3 prototype. This is Dan Gurney, who set the qualifying mark of 2 minutes 54 and see now from the start. Dan Gurney pacing nervously on the opposite side of the track. Here's his car number 2. He was the fastest qualifier. The starting flag is up and it's down, and we're underway. In just a moment, these engines will scream to life, and they won't be stopped for the next 12 hours for the lucky ones. First car off is the Dino Ferrari car number 46, the Scarfiotti Bandini car, and away he goes. And Gurney still is not out. He was the first car on the starting grid, and it's still parked there. He can't get it started. Everybody else moving away, and here is the Dino Ferrari, the small Ferrari, under 2 liters, going out to the early lead. Graham Hill is close behind. Everybody else is underway except Dan Gurney, and he's still sitting there. The mechanic has gotten inside the car, and it still isn't started. Here's Graham Hill taking over the lead from the Dino Ferrari. And there is Gurney. He's finally off and running amid the shouts of all this crowd around the pit area. So Gurney is on the course. Whoops, somebody hitting a bale of hay on the far side, and it is car number 17. Car number 17 is the Weitz's Fisher entry, a GT Ford 40 from Canada. We'll be covering much of the action for you during the 12 hours of Sebring, both the nighttime and daylight hours from our Goodyear blimp. And you can see the cars now moving down, and that is Dan Gurney down the warehouse straightaway in that dark car, and he is really moving. Gurney off to a disastrous start after being the fastest qualifier. Now here is the Mike Parks Ferrari coming by, moving up very fast. Graham Hill and the Ferrari, car number 27, has taken the lead, but Gurney is moving. Gurney in that big 7-liter Mark II Ford prototype. And so this race is at that time was going real good. Now, with just moments, let's say, away from the finish line, things look awfully good.
Yes, they look a lot better than they did earlier, even when we were running 1-2 then. But the cars have held together, and we melted the others down. It looks like we'll keep our fingers crossed. It looks like in a few minutes will be our day.
Okay, see you later.
Bye, thank you.
And there is the scoreboard showing the Fords running 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here comes the lead car in with just moments to go in the race. Jerry Grant in the cockpit, and undoubtedly with Dan Gurney standing by here in the pit area, he's going to get in the car to finish the race, Phil.
This will probably be the last pit stop for them tonight. Looks like the engine will take over and finish up.
Who would have thought that after nearly 12 hours they'd be in this position?
This thing is still going.
Just moments away from the end of the race now. And here is kind of alarming news. Car number 2, the lead car, has gone dead out on the course. And it is 10 o'clock straight up. The checkered flag is out, and no Dan Gurney.
For Pete's sake, here he is, and he's pushing it. He could be disqualified for that, Bill.
Gurney is actually pushing car number 2 in, and that means Ken Miles has crossed the finish line first. Miles and Ruby will be the winners of the 12-hour race of endurance at Sebring, and here comes Miles into victory lane. And the provisional results now list Miles and Ruby in first place, Gurney and Grant in second place, and we have Mark Donahue and Walt Hansgen in third place in the Ford, Pete Revson and Skip Scott in a Ford in 4th place.